Hey there, Bearcat Nation. Thanks for tuning in to the Bearcat Sports Report on the Bearcat Sports Network. I'm Austin LaJess, and that's Brandon Phillips. Brandon, we'll start it out here. Women's basketball, two-game homestand this past weekend.
Yeah, a little bit of a tough homestand. Started off, the Bearcats took a 99-73 loss against the 9th-ranked Panthers of Drury University. Followed that up with a heartbreaking 3-point loss to Missouri S&T Miners. The Drury game, they came out, played with them in the first half a little bit, pretty close. You and I were on the call. They just ran into a really hot Panthers team in the second half. They got hot, couldn't miss. They opened the half on a 16-4 run to the Panthers. Bearcats were never really able to pull back within contention. They ended up dropping it, as we mentioned, 99-73, And then the game against Missouri S&T, much closer throughout. Back and forth game, pretty exciting. In the final seconds, the Bearcats were able to chip it down to a 1-point lead, had a chance at the free throw line, couldn't quite pull even, ended up dropping it by 3 points. However, in that game, junior guard Katie Ponce did pass assistant head coach Stephanie Sparks for 11th place on the Bearcats' all-time scoring list with a season-high 25 points. And senior Brittany Willis added her first double-double of the season, grabbing 10 rebounds and 19 points. In doing so, she became the 14th member of the Bearcat 1,000-point club. Congratulations, Brittany. With the loss to the Miners, the Bearcats fall to 7-13 overall and 2-10 in GLVC play.
Head over to the men's side of things. They came out 1-1 this past weekend on the two-game homestand. First, they welcomed the 4th-ranked Panthers of Drury. The Bearcats led by as many as 10 in the first half before trailing by 1 at the break. The Bearcats then came out strong. They took the lead back with just 4 minutes into the half. Missed free throws down to the late stretch part of the game hurt the Bearcats as they fell 78-74. The Bearcats had 3 players score in double-digit figures before welcoming the Miners of Missouri S&T last Saturday as they honored seniors Clint Hoppy and Will Kurtzke. Back-and-forth game that had 8 ties and 10 lead changes came out favorable for the Bearcats after scoring their last 13 points from the free throw line. Mike DiGregorio had a historic stat line in which he tied his career-high 30 points and setting a new McKendree record, hitting 21 free throws. Clint Hoppy went out with style while tying his career-high scoring of 27 points. Matt Holmes put up a double-double, grabbing 10 boards and scoring 15. Mike Springs added 9 assists off the bench. The Bearcats came out on top 106-99 as they improved to 9-11 overall and 3-6 in the GLVC. Both teams, men and women, will head on the road to William Jewell College and Rockhurst on Thursday and Saturday. They'll be back at the Statham Center one more time on the 17th for their last regular home season game against Maryville University.
Switching gears a little bit, the men's volleyball team here at McKendree had a busy weekend, including 3 matches on 3 consecutive days. They started off on the road against the Lewis University Flyers, 10th-ranked team in the land. They dropped a 3-set decision. They followed that up by dropping a 3-set match to the 2nd-ranked Ramblers of Loyola. The Bearcats then returned home inside the Statham Center to do battle with the Grand Canyon University Antelopes. The 2 squads split the first 2 sets before the Antelopes were able to rebound and come away with a 4-set victory. Dustin Borenstein added a game-high 15 kills to go with 39 assists from Jack McLean. The Bearcats will be back at home this Friday, 7 p.m., and Saturday at 5 p.m. inside the Statham Center.
Well, headed over to the track side of things, Brandon, here. The women and men were both at U of Indy this past weekend. On the women's side, they set a new team record for the indoor distance medley relay. The team of Megan Doty, Christine Cunningham, Angela Poole, and Karis Johnson, they combined for a final time of 12 minutes 54 seconds. Congratulations to those women.
And on the men's side of the track, it was Blake DeLong who hit an NCAA Division II provisional qualifying mark, again in his 5,000-meter run, finishing 2nd out of 40 with a time of 14:33.16. He currently ranks 7th in the NCAA Division II 5,000 meters.
It was a busy Friday last week for head coach Mike Babcock in his 2nd year at the helm of the Bearcats football program. Last Friday, his staff announced the signing of 31 student athletes in the class of 2014 recruiting year. We got a chance to meet up with him and get an insight on the signing class. Well, we're here with Coach Mike Babcock. Coach, thanks for taking time out of your busy day to be with us. Big day last Friday, 31 signees. What are your first impressions with this group of kids?
I'm glad. I think this is a great recruiting class. I think that we've got some great talent coming in at all positions, and very, very fired up to see what these guys can do come August.
Yeah, you got a wide range of players, both some in-state, out-of-state, both sides of the ball. You got kids that could compete to play as true freshmen this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's always interesting to see who can compete when they first come in, and that's really what it is. We've got a lot of great talent, and we have our sights on some guys playing early, but in the end, it's really the best guy plays, and whether that's a senior, whether that's a freshman, some guys that are high on our list, might not be ready to play when they first come in. So, like I said, as soon as ball starts rolling in August, going to be fired up to see who can get it done.
Yeah, and anyone in particular, you got kids that could play as true freshmen, but also kids who can make an impact over a 4-year span. You're not just looking, obviously, at a kid freshman year, but who's going to give you a better chance in the long run?
Well, some of our needs this year were obviously at the defensive back position with losing 4 seniors. We were able to bring in a transfer in Keelan Smith, who I think has done a fantastic job so far for us. Also looking at even the linebacker position as well for the upcoming years. We've got guys like Chris Jones from Simeon up in the Chicago area, and then a guy like Jacob Addison from down in Texas who runs around and plays fast, and so very, very fired up to have those guys have a great defensive end in Ralph Paul out from Florida come to be a part of us. And then on the offensive side of the ball, someone like Darius Cottrell from Edwardsville, and just down the street, and he's a fantastic wide receiver, and very, very glad that he's on our team. Tight end like Skylar Paulson, and some big boys up front. I think can always help. So, but like I said, very, very fired up for this second class and see where these guys can go.
Yeah, a little bit. Tell us a little bit about that process. You talk about kids trying to get kids from this area, but also up north in the Simeon area and also Texas and Florida. Mention how you try to kind of outreach to those kids and get those recruits from other states that aren't so close to the St. Louis area.
Well, first off, I want to completely concentrate on Illinois. I want there to be no stone left unturned. I want to be known as the best Division II program in the state of Illinois, period. So that's where our main focus is going to be. But then we do go out and we have coaches in specific areas out of state that kind of just kick over rocks and see if there's anybody out there that fits the profile of McKendree. Who are we looking for? We're looking for great student athletes, people that are great not only on the field but in the classroom as well. So finding that right person is kind of our job, and continue to grow that and continue to develop relationships. And just like when I got hired here, some of these guys from out of state can come in and say, you know what, this is a lot different than I've been a part of, but I want to be a part of that McKendree family, and kind of that niche that we have as a university, I think is stellar. Small town university, right on the back doorstep of St. Louis, and it's a big sell for a lot of these recruits out of state.
Coach, for the spring, you guys have started your conditioning now, waking up early for some of those guys who like it or don't. Hopefully you guys can get outside as soon as the snow starts to go away. What are you guys trying to look to progress in this spring practices and trying to get done in this off season?
I want there to be a lot of competition. I want the guys to compete, not just against each other, but against themselves, and that pushes you to that next level. So whether it's in the weight room, whether it's in our conditioning drills, I want them to continue to push themselves and continue to push towards greatness, and to understand it's all the little things, it's all the details, and that's really what wins a championship. It's all the stuff that you do in this off season that adds up for what you do when you play on Saturday.
Yeah, well, that's head coach Mike Babcock. Coach, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it. Congratulations on a big signing day, and good luck to you and your staff here in this spring off season and next fall.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks again, Coach Babcock, for joining us. That's going to just about wrap it up for this week's edition of the Bearcat Sports Report. But keep in mind, we have a very busy weekend of athletics here at McKendree University. Starting off this Friday night, the men's volleyball squad will be in action at 7 p.m. Saturday, they hit the court for a first serve of 5. Also on Sunday, the lacrosse team makes their season debut at 1 p.m. at Lehman Field against Grand Valley State.
Well, softball will also make their debut this weekend as they head to the University of Northern Alabama Invitational. Also, a reminder that the Bearcats Sports Network will be having the broadcast of the men's and women's basketball game at William Jewell College and Rockhurst. Don't forget, though, they will be back home here at the Statham Center on the 17th, 5:30 and 7:30 against Maryville University. Reminder, catch all these shows on the Bearcat Athletic YouTube page and at mckbearcats.com. That's all we have for you this week. I'm Austin LeJess. That's Brandon Phillips. And go Bearcats!